Hi, this is Tom Kane, the voice of Jedi Master Yoda. And this is Inside the Force. Listen, you will. Foreseen it I have, yes.
It is a period of Star Wars mania, as new movies, comic books, novels, and TV shows populate the system. Fueled by their love and passion for the galaxy far, far away, two exceptional geeks tap into hundreds of holocrons in order to bring you the knowledge and insight of all things Star Wars. Come and join them as they go inside the Force.
And welcome back, everyone, to Inside the Force. Dave Cottingham here with, as always, Casey Cooley.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome back to episode 105, where we've got a ton of stuff to talk about this week. We've got a brand new number one from Marvel. That is Lando number one, new comic series just starting this week. We've got some episode news, episode 7 news. Actually, not just episode 7, but
8
another anthology news.
All across the board.
Yeah, and then some neat little things that Lucasfilm and Star Wars have put out that we'll talk about as well that just got released. Picked up my copy of Dark Disciple today. Obviously, I haven't read it yet, but
read the whole thing.
But we'll see what we can get into on that, and little things here and there. So, yeah. But first up, as always, we got to hit up the movie side news.
Alrighty then.
What's happening?
Well, I guess still technically not a whole lot is happening on the episode 7 front.
No.
Trying to look through here really quick at some notes, but I mean, actually, nothing jumps to mind, honestly, about episode 7.
Well, also the big thing this week is Comic-Con.
Correct.
Coming out this weekend, and there was some hope and anticipation that we would get another trailer, be some more footage, but apparently they've shot that down.
Yeah, like no clips or anything like that. I guess the rumor for it is that they're going to show some. Well, I guess it's not really rumor. I think it's more of an actual. It's fact. I think it's listed on Star Wars or Comic-Con's website, but there'll be just some behind the scenes stuff. Is all. You'll get Kathleen Kennedy, you'll get Abrams, Lawrence Kasdan, some other crew, and some of the cast. Doesn't say who yet, but it's mostly going to be, I guess, just behind the scenes stuff, which will still be cool. You know, you'll see probably some behind the scenes footage of stuff we haven't seen yet, perhaps. Nothing revealing, but it'll still be really cool, I feel like. That'll be sweet. Maybe we'll get some behind the scenes images that reveal some of the characters, perhaps like Gleason's character, maybe. You know, there's still some hope there. Yeah,
and then one of the rumors that was out there was that they were going to release it's a possible the movie slate, the upcoming movie slate from Disney Film. Disney and Lucasfilm.
There's a supposed leak already for this.
I do think that was doctored. But
I think it's fake. Some people have been pointing out certain little irregularities with like the dates and all that kind of stuff. The only really thing that is the shock and awe, I think, are two things, and this is a good segue. I'm trying to bring up the image, but I remember it. There's one, they have episode 7, they have Rogue One, they have episode 8, and then the second, they say the second anthology film in their order is a Kenobi spinoff.
Yeah,
they call it The Balance. I have to look at. I'm trying to find this image again. I have it here. If my thing will load up fast enough. It's the Balance of the Force. I guess that's a fine title, sure. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's Star Wars. Then they have Star Wars Episode 9, and then the Fett Solo anthology. Not just Han Solo anthology, but Fett Solo. Now, it was just confirmed, kind of officially announced, that there will be a Han Solo anthology film for 2018 release, which already throws out this whole movie slate thing, because the Solo film will be the second anthology film. So Kenobi is just a rumored film. So someone made this up,
right?
But Fett Solo, it doesn't. That's not the official announcement for this Solo film. Let me find it. Basically, it's basically about Han Solo. It didn't say anything about villains.
Nope.
Wow, my iPad's being slow right now.
And doesn't even mention. So the article is introducing the directors, Christopher Miller and Phil Lord.
Yes, they did Lego Movie, right?
Yeah, and Lego Movie.
How to Train Your Dragon 2?
No, Cloudy of the Chance of Meatballs. Right. Okay. They did 21 Jump Street and 22 Jump Street.
Yeah, that's a different resume.
Yeah.
They're comedic. It sounds like a lighthearted comedy, not family, but comedy type of thing.
Yeah, Lego Movie was great.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not sure if they wrote those movies or they just directed them, but they're only directing this. The screenplay is getting written by the Kasdans, Lawrence and John Kasdan.
Well, that's awesome, though.
Very awesome.
That's really cool.
Now, this is the movie Josh Trank left.
Right.
Correct?
Correct, yes. Absolutely.
So it makes you wonder why, if he didn't agree creatively maybe with what they were doing with Han Solo.
I've heard different things. I kind of have my own opinion on it based on what I've heard. I'm not just that, but for the Fantastic Four movie that he's doing, but it just, I don't know. But yeah, that's the one he was going to do, but could not do. Or did not want to do, whichever one. Did not want to.
So, with that announcement, let's get into a little bit of what they can't do.
Yeah, okay.
Or what they shouldn't
with
do.
Solo anthology film.
Yes.
Got it.
So we're getting I'm
trying to
as of what we know right now, we're getting episode 7 obviously this year.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting Rogue One in December of 2016. We're getting episode 8 in May of 2017. And now we're getting this a year later from that, May of 2018, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's all we officially know for sure. Hopefully, yes. And I guess episode 9 is in 2019. They just don't have a date yet for that. So if there's another anthology movie that's going to be announced, we're talking 2020, I guess, right? Yeah. So, yeah, whether or not that's Kenobi or if it's something else, I don't know. But first off...
Well, I'm looking at an update here. Looks like from the Hollywood Reporter. I mean, it could not be a thing, but they're saying that it was not the one that Josh Trank was doing. I mean, the official thing was that, yes, it was a Solo film, but Hollywood Reporter just published, looks like something that's saying this film is not the same one that had been directed by Josh Trank. That one was supposed to be one about Boba Fett.
Oh, okay.
So whether or not...
So the Fett
Solo
movie may not be a combined film.
Yeah, maybe
it could be two separate ones.
Correct. So, but nonetheless.
Now that would be better.
Separate.
To be honest.
2 separate ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I think... So again, let's go back.
Yeah.
What shouldn't they do with the Han Solo film?
What should they not do?
I mean, besides not do the movie at all.
Yeah.
I
think it could be a cool movie. I think whatever Lawrence Kasdan will write, regardless of whatever goes against our what we think should not happen, whatever it happens, I think it'll be a good movie. But I don't want to see a film that takes place like 6 months before episode 4, or like within I would say I don't want to see a movie that takes place within 5 years of episode 4.
Correct.
And
we didn't mention this before we recorded. We were talking about it, but I don't see how they can place this anywhere during Rebels.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's 5 years before.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that time is gone. I think Rebels is focused on that time.
Yeah.
So it's got to be before that.
That would make me happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would even want it longer. Like it says right here, the screen, it says right here that the story focuses on how young Han Solo becomes the smuggler, thief, and scoundrel whom Luke Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi first encountered in the Cantina of Mos Eisley. Now, how he becomes the smuggler, thief, and scoundrel. Now, it's safe to assume he basically is those things almost his entire life.
Mm-hmm.
So, to me, it's almost like you have to focus this thing almost... You can't really go that much farther past episode 3. like if it even says in the encyclopedia there the
Ultimate Star Wars
thing. It doesn't give a timeline on exactly when he was born,
right?
But it does say it's during episode 1 and 2, between episodes 1 and 2, which would put him roughly in his late 20s in episode 4, right?
Yeah.
So in order to, I think, cast him correctly to keep the likeness of, Han Solo to Harrison Ford, as far as, I mean, everybody thinks of Han Solo, thinks of Harrison Ford, right? So in order to keep that likeness, I mean, I think you can't make him, you've got to separate at least 10 years, I would say, at least.
Yeah. I mean, it says young Han Solo, and Harrison Ford was already, Harrison Ford was actually in his 30s when he made the film, but in the story-wise, like late 20s, that's still relatively young. So like young,
but even younger, I think getting, because we're seeing, I don't know, in Star Wars it's weird because he calls
him kid all the time.
Well, that's that, but they call Anakin, young when he's 9,
too
young to be a Jedi. So, I think in the Star Wars universe, people are
you become a man.
You become young, and like what Amidala was queen at 14. You know what I mean? So Leia was getting in the Senate when she was a teenager. So it's almost as if like around that time between like 10 and 16 is the age I think you have to stick with. I don't think you can go any older than that, because then you can still lead the belief that he grows up into Harrison Ford. You know what I mean? Because it is Harrison Ford that you're getting to. Now that I remember it's been a long time. I don't know if it was Celebration or if it was just an interview, but I remember hearing Filoni talk about in an interview how they were thinking about introducing Han during the Clone Wars.
Yeah,
he would have been roughly that age, 8, 9 years old. So, or even a little young, a little younger, depending on when it was in the Clone Wars. But
and he was supposed to be in episode 3 as well.
Correct. Yeah,
at that age
as a kid, right? So I think they have the idea of his age. They know, distinctly what his age is, but where this takes place is still just a mystery. We obviously won't know that.
I mean, I want to see him mid-teens. I think that's ideal.
Well, at the oldest, correct?
At the oldest, yeah.
Because
if he's trying to become, he just becomes a scoundrel thief. I don't know. He gets roped into it, sucked into it. It's interesting.
Yeah, and it's. I assume you're gonna probably see the beginning relationships with Jabba.
Yeah.
Possibly. See again,
Greedo.
Granted. But then do you cast a young Lando? Does he?
If he's in there,
do you? I mean, I'm assuming you have to show how he wins the Millennium Falcon.
That would be cool to see that. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, there was a book about it. Obviously, the Han Solo
trilogy there.
Yeah, the Han Solo Adventures. It was in that.
Yeah.
But obviously that's not canon anymore.
Yeah, and the Ultimate Star Wars mentions it. The earliest thing is that he was, born on Corellia, and then it jumps to his dealing with Jabba, dumping his shipment.
The Kessel Run
then
thing.
It goes to Kessel Run, then it goes to Mos Eisley. So it's like, it mentions nothing of the Academy,
No.
Of the Imperial
and
Academy.
Then people obviously well versed in the expanded universe know how he actually met Chewbacca, and see in those books he was raised by a woman or a female Wookiee, so that's why he got passionate about Wookiees, and then when he saw the Imperials beating on Chewbacca and he saves his life, that's where he gets that life debt, and and it's a great part of the story. I remember reading. But again, it's not real.
I think too. Like we can see the Millennium Falcon, we can see Chewbacca.
I think you have to,
and maybe Lando. I mean, you have to see Lando if you see the Falcon. So,
well, I think you see that match. Yeah. That I think that maybe that's all you do. But again, you can't make them. You just can't make them that close in age to episode 4. I mean, you can't do it.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you feel about? I mean, it's quite possible now with what they're doing. I mean, they could. The Ghost Crew could come across a Han Solo.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how do you feel about having a Han Solo? And do you think we'll ever see Han Solo or even Luke and Leia
in Rebels?
In Rebels,
I think Han Solo is more likely.
Yeah,
Leia is pretty likely though.
Leia's definitely likely.
But I think
Leia's
Leia, Han, Luke. That's my order of likeliness.
Yeah.
Because Lando doesn't have the Falcon at this point, right? He's already lost it.
He has already lost it. That is true. Well, that's the thing is that so they've already established that has happened prior to Rebels, technically, which is good. That's what I'm saying, which is a good thing because I think that's they have this planned out. Obviously.
Yeah. I just they have it planned right.
That's probably that's something that they said no, we'll keep that for the movie. I'm just not.
Yeah.
I'm just scared because this is the first time you're talking about recasting a beloved character.
Oh, jeez.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it's easy when you do a Boba Fett movie because you never have to see his face.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a different person playing Han Solo. I mean,
well, I think I can do it. I think I got it.
But like again, the Boba Fett thing.
Yeah,
they've established who he looks like if he does remove the mask.
Yeah, I think if you have Boba Fett and he takes off his mask, it has to be Daniel Logan. He's at the age.
He probably is, or it's the guy that they used in Episode 2, right? Like the full-fledged clone trooper.
Oh, Tamara Morrison?
Not Tamara, the guy in the middle. The guy that was at the age of like, whenever they were like 20-something.
Yeah. Okay.
The first batch, those guys that were training. Because there was Daniel Logan, who's Boba Fett at the age 10 or so, right? And, it was 10 because it was 10 years. And then you had the accelerated training ones, right?
Yeah.
And they were probably in their mid 20, early 20s.
Yeah.
Whoever played that character, that's who he would look like, probably at this point, right? Because he'd be.
It's been.
Well, no, it's been
a long time since that movie.
Well, I mean, in the Star Wars timeline, it'd probably be if they do it between Episode 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Young Boba is like what. He's
13 by Episode 3.
He's 13. Yeah, 13 Episode 3. That's right. So if you go, so he'd be like 20 or so if you go halfway through 3 and 4.
Maybe a little older than Han Solo.
But I think it would be that guy. He would look like the guy that's playing.
Yes. Right.
But technically, that kind of looks like Daniel Logan, I guess. I mean,
yeah, I'm trying to see if I can find that actor who plays him. But technically at this point, Daniel Logan would look more like Tamara Morrison. So,
yeah, Tamara Morrison would be if you go an older looking Tamara Morrison would go if he survived Episode 6, right? Or by the time Episode 6 up, he has to be Tamara Morrison because his voice is that.
Yeah.
Right. So
got to voice over all his lines.
Yeah, he's got to come back and do that. Or you find somebody that sounds like him.
Got to keep the tradition, people.
Yeah, because what's cool is like, you can find these voice actors that sound exactly like, right? I mean, because I learned that we learned that from James Earl Taylor.
Yeah,
how he's like sometimes I sub for Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
Like what? Like Christopher Walken's voice in a commercial is maybe not Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
It's probably James Earl Taylor. It's like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So
looks like the actor who played that the middle one is Bodie Taylor. He was born in '76, so he's
my age. Yeah. Is there a recent picture of him? I don't know.
Recent? I don't think so. From Star Wars.
But that's why I've never really been worried of like Darth Vader. Like if James Earl Jones never wanted to do Darth Vader again, I think you can find somebody with some voice manipulation to actually be able to sound like him and do the Darth Vader voice.
Yeah, actually, look at this pic here. This is a pic of all three actors who've played Boba or the clone copy, whatever. I guess that's Daniel Logan on the left.
Is it? No.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
Tomorrow in the middle.
I think that's the that's the clone, and that's Tomorrow. That's that's Captain Typho,
Oh, yeah,
the host.
Yeah.
So that's Tomorrow.
Gotcha.
God, they kind of look the same.
They do.
Jeez.
Yeah. That's good casting.
And Daniel Logan, I guess, could,
Let's see if I
technically,
can find a recent picture of him.
he might be able to pull it off, actually. If they do that age, if they do just a...
He does.
If they do like an 18, 19-year-old Boba.
I think they should just get him. He looks pretty daggone close. They did a good job.
Yeah.
George Lucas knows, man.
Actually, I think he would pass.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, I do. I do think he would pass.
So just get him. That's what's so fun about it. It's like they're all consistent.
The same guys,
Even voices are consistent. I love that. It just makes it more fun.
It makes it real, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
It makes it absolutely real.
Doesn't take you out of it,
No.
out of the picture at all. So, Yeah, that's why it's like a Han Solo movie at the end. He's like, all right, I'm going to go to Mos Eisley for a drink with Chewbacca. And it's like, what?
Wait a minute, yeah.
You're a totally different actor.
That's not you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little kids will be confused.
Cannot do that. They cannot do that. So anyway,
yeah,
kind of got off there a little bit, but that's...
well, we can go here to like just one of the more rumor. Aaron Paul, bringing this rumor back up. He apparently has signed for one of the anthology films. Once again, people are saying Han Solo. Some people, I think you told me, that are saying Boba Fett.
Yeah.
As long as he doesn't take his helmet off, because he looks completely different than a clone trooper. That's just ridiculous.
That would be.
You just can't do that. That's ridiculous.
Can't do it. I would not be okay with that.
Never.
No.
Like, what?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I don't see how a story group could be okay with that.
No.
Yeah. Or keeping Kathleen Kennedy, hopefully, but...
So, who knows what he's going to play. He would not... He's a good actor, but he's not Han Solo.
I think that Star Wars and Lucasfilm, I think they could steal the show this weekend, San Diego Comic-Con, if they announced that there is a Kenobi movie coming and Ewan McGregor is coming back. Boom.
Holy cow. Yes.
That would be the
bombshell.
That would be the bomb.
Ewan McGregor walked on stage.
Yes.
That'd be so cool, man. Oh my gosh. Like,
I think that's got to happen. I mean, there's too many rumors out there, and the amount of times that he said I would do it again.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you? You know
Someone's
what I mean?
got Captain Kennedy. We'll make money. Let's just do it.
Gosh, yeah. And
so, yeah. What's really cool is
the question is too. I'm wondering are these anthology movies going to have sequels, or are they just going to be one-offs? You know what I mean?
I think they should be one-offs.
I agree with you.
I think they should. I think it's just nicer that way.
Yeah.
What they do after episode 9, then I have no idea. They go to 10, 11, 12. I don't know, or they just start doing sequels of anthology films now. That's so many things to keep up with. I feel like
so many.
Star Wars.
But I thought I remember.
2,
I remember when they started talking about these standalone movies that they. Remember, I thought they mentioned that they would not involve any characters from the episodic movies.
Well,
right?
Her language to me was always kind of confusing in a way, but that's what I got from it. That's how I interpret it, is that they're not going to use either. I took it either none of the characters from the anthologies will appear in the saga films, or vice versa. Like,
I always took it as they're going to be separate. That's why they were called standalone movies, because they weren't going to be part of the timeline of the episodic movies and involve those characters. So that's why people were like, oh, okay, so we'll never get a Kenobi movie, and we'll never get a Han Solo movie. And Rogue One, it seemed like that started that route, right? It was going to show the stealing of the Death Star plans, and you're not going to. It was a part of the Star Wars universe we'd never seen. Mm-hmm. But then now there's that rumor that Darth Vader's actually going to show up in Rogue One, which makes sense.
Yeah. That's like a cameo.
As a cameo, sure.
We'll get some bounty hunters, though. They're apparently supposed to get Boba Fett, all the main bounty hunters, even Cad Bane. Have you read this?
No. In Rogue One?
Rogue One. The plans are supposed to get Zuckuss, IG-88, Forlom, Boss,
that is freaking
Dengar,
awesome.
Boba Fett, Cad Bane.
Wow.
That's the rumor.
If Cad Bane is real in that is awesome.
Yeah. First live action from
I really think I got a guy I work with. He's like, I'm more pumped about Rogue One than I am about Episode 7.
Really?
Yes.
I mean, I'm pretty pumped.
He's a military guy, though.
Okay, yeah.
And when he saw that trailer, that teaser they put out, which is awesome, by the way, because at first, it's low res, it's not. He watched, and then I remember watching it with him, and all of a sudden it went off, and I was like, "Did you see that?" He's like, "What? What I miss?" And then I was like, "No, watch it again." Yeah. He's like, "Oh my God, it's the Death Star!" He was freaking out, man. He was like, "That," and I told him it was about them stealing the Death Star plane. Yeah. He's like, "Man," he goes, I want to see that more than I do Episode 7 now. So
there you go.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, and if you bring some characters like that in, like the bounty hunters, that's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. That's pretty good.
I think it's pretty smart. Rogue One's going to be a good one. I feel like it's in good hands.
What
good path?
What if?
Okay, here we go.
So this is pre-episode 4, right?
Yeah.
So what if it's the scene? What if it's another scene like Vader hiring these bounty hunters, right? Mm-hmm. Boba, Bosk, Cad, and that's what he's referring to in Empire when he's like, no disintegrations.
Like he kills,
right?
Kills them.
He kills somebody.
Yeah,
that he's not supposed to. Maybe
some brutal burning alive sitting there.
So that's the reference. Yeah, I don't know.
Cool.
So anyway, that's God, it's just gonna be. I just had a vision. I was driving home today. I just had this vision of like, just my on the shelf, just all these movies.
Yes, Star Wars,
Episode 7, Rogue One, Han Solo, whatever. I was just like, God, 5 years from now, this is gonna be these movies on my shelf. I never thought I'd ever think about seeing. Yeah. So, plus you've got Rebels and games and comics. I mean, it's just ridiculous how much Star Wars we're getting. But so, what else is that? Is that really all the movie stuff?
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, we're getting Comic-Con starts tomorrow, so we'll probably have, if something crazy happens, we'll probably have a special edition episode, something.
Yeah, and I think all the Hall H stuff happens in Saturday mainly for Star Wars, and I think Star Wars might be Friday. Is it Friday?
Might be. I think it actually might be Friday.
I think it's Friday night, maybe.
Yeah.
So we'll move on to some just real quick digital stuff here. You made me aware of today that Star Wars releases an official app on the App Store on iTunes and or Apple App Store and then Google Play. Fortunately, I have a Windows phone. It's not on that, so I'm probably going to give up my Windows phone here soon. But there's a trailer that they released on what you can expect from it. Looks really, really cool. You've played around with it. What do you think about it?
There's not a whole lot. It's cool.
It's mainly going to the website, just condensed, right?
Yeah, there's some fun little activities that you can, do spend time with. Like they have it actually tells you the weather, but what's cool is that it compares it to some planet in the Star Wars universe. Like right now, it's telling me it's 74 degrees, which it is, but it feels like indoor.
Feels like indoor. Yeah, that's cool.
Beautiful night for a forest moon stroll, and shows you a 3D thing of the forest of Endor. Gives you some info about it. It has it's such a cool interface. I love it, and it has like on the top right here this day in Star Wars history, and you can actually click on it and choose which day you want to go to see. Like let's see, what's it? Today's July 8th. I mean, you'll probably do that later, but to stay in history, like Star Wars released in Israel, Episode 6 released in Israel, something like that. So like they have a countdown for Episode 7. They have just the latest news, which is the Han Solo thing. You can do some cool GIFs, tons of GIFs you can do. Official videos, little game you could do about training in the Force, some soundboards. You can take a selfie and it puts your head in like a Star Wars image. You can kind of make what Star Wars background you want to do. It's really cool. And then links to the site. So there's a few cool things in here that you can spend some time with. They might update it with some new stuff, but I like it. I like it a lot.
And then I don't know if I can't remember when this came out recently, but there's a new mobile game coming out, Star Wars Uprising. I think we might have mentioned that already before, but that's coming soon. Another cool thing if you go to StarWars.com, if you're into this kind of thing, they've got all of the exclusive merchandise that's going to be released at San Diego Comic-Con. Some really cool stuff. Some stuff you can actually pre-buy on eBay right now. People are expecting to get this stuff. Mainly some exclusive Funko pop figures that are going to be there. The one that I want to get my hands on is the Black Series new Stormtrooper.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that looks incredible. But all kinds of stuff, comic variant covers, stuff like that. So StarWars.com's it's got pictures of them all right there. So check that out. Another thing I wanted to mention on there before we review the comic, they've got a link on there that gives you a sneak peek of some of the Journey to the Force Awakens stuff that's coming, books and comics and stuff. The one notable one, obviously in early September, is the novel coming called Aftermath by Chuck Wendig. He's got a book coming out, explaining the gap between episode 6 and 7. You've got some junior novels, one called Lost Stars, and then you got one about Luke called Weapon of the Jedi, one from Leia called Moving Target, one from Han called Smuggler's Run. So one I'm super excited about is the 5-issue comic series called Shattered Empire. So that's from Greg Rucka, who's a big Marvel writer. So you got all kinds of stuff coming, and then they at the very end, DK Publishing, which has the book that where you look at, has a book coming out called Star Wars, Absolutely Everything You Need to Know. It's got some questions answered that refer to episode 7. So anyway, some great stuff coming here in a couple months. And remember, people, we're 5 months away from episode 5 months. No, we 5 months, 6 months. Maybe 6 months?
We're in
August, September, October, November, December. No, we're 5 months away. Yeah.
What?
I really don't know what I'm gonna do just sitting there watching it. I mean, I'm gonna.
I'm just like I want to watch it. I'm so anxious to see the next second of the film, and yet I want it to last forever.
I know.
Like I want it to happen so fast and so slow.
Let me ask you this real fast.
Yeah.
Because I think I am going to do this. If they have a marathon beforehand, I think I'm doing it.
Oh, like a movie tavern, something like that.
Yes. Well, most of them, all of them, are starting to do them now.
Would that be like an all-day Thursday thing then?
I'm assuming
Leading up to midnight.
Well, see, it being 6 movies, I'm thinking they would probably start it. Well, what would it be? That'd be 12 hours?
More than that. That'd be about 13 to 14. Because some a little over, like Clone Wars or Attack on the Clones is 2.5 bout, right?
Well, then I can see them probably doing
about 13.
3, like the first night, and then 3 the second night with Force Awakens, because they did. Marvel did the whole run, but this last time before they did Avengers 2, they did multiple days. But when they did Avengers, they did the 5 movies before Avengers. That whole day.
I mean, I could probably do, if they split it up, maybe I could do some, maybe all of it. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know if I can do that.
Regardless, I will have my own marathon.
Yeah, all week.
All
month, all
that week.
I don't know, man.
I think the entire month of December at work, it is going to be nothing but Star Wars. So
it's going to be insane.
Yeah, it is going to be insane. Anyway.
What was it? I was going to say something else, but I forgot it. Oh, yeah. If they do the prequels, at least, in the theaters, I'll have to see at least some of the prequels in theaters. Yeah. I'll just have to, but yeah. Good stuff.
That's good stuff. Okay, so in the nothing from Rebels really. I haven't heard much yet about the release date for season 2. That's coming in sometime in September. But you can go watch the film. I guess the first part, the season 2 movie, Crisis on Lothal or something like that. Siege of Lothal. Thank you. With a lot of Vader in it, so go check that out. Now to the comics. We got a brand new number 1 that just came out from Star Wars and Marvel. Star Wars Lando number 1 from Charles Soule, who is actually one of my favorite writers these days. Started reading him on the DC side when he picked up Swamp Thing after Scott Snyder got off of it. Did some Batman, or did some Wonder Woman, Superman, did some Red Lanterns, did some there's another one I can't remember what I said, but
Something.
Yeah, that was I said Swamp Thing. That's what. But anyway, he's phenomenal. He's great. I'm glad he's doing something that I'm reading from Marvel, and he's doing Lando right now. Now I'm assuming, what I'm guessing is that this is a limited series as well. It seems like it came off the heels of the Leia series, so I'm assuming this will be 4 or 5 issues again. So, number 1, what do you think?
I liked it. Wasn't like an epic story like some of these others have been.
Right.
Like Leia on 7 more toned down. It was Lando kind of just doing this smuggling pirate thing. But I thought it was nice. It was cool. It's definitely going to pick up these next issues. It left off with a really cool little cliffhanger there.
Yes.
Brought back some very familiar, awesome characters. Got to see some Lobot that I hadn't seen. Like, he actually talked.
I know.
You know, that we haven't really heard him say anything.
I don't think I knew he talked.
Yeah, I didn't know. And he's actually got some personality.
Yeah.
You know, actually cool history about him too, like where he got those implants, you know, where like official history of where he got the implants, and really neat to learn about him, about their relationship, and see Lando before Bespin Cloud City. Like, I'm so interested to see the official history that they've got planned for him.
Yeah. Did they mention in episode? They didn't mention episode 5 how he got the city, right?
It's just like he's a small mining operation. He has to deal with the Empire about it. So
yeah, but I think he might have. I think I read somewhere.
He won it.
Yeah, but I don't think that's canon.
I can't remember.
But I think he won that.
Yeah,
like that somehow. I don't think he owns it, but I don't know.
We'll see it.
But yeah, I think this is probably a setup to that, or I'm wondering if he has the Falcon in this. So I don't know when.
I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
I don't think he does, because he's talking about stealing ships and all that stuff. But anyway, but I thought it was really good. I thought, again, Charles Soule, I like how he writes. I love the way he chooses his direction with stuff, and the art was okay.
Yeah.
Nothing that stood out to me that much, but the writing was really, really good. But yeah, I think it set up the end pretty good, and it's got a good reveal at the end. So, yeah, so I liked it. I actually probably liked it better than Leia's number 1.
It hooked me more, definitely. Yeah. And I don't want to say it's because it's like a girl comic, but no, it's just the story of Leia. It just didn't. It didn't capture me enough. I guess.
The Leia thing hooked me only because I liked the depiction of her being that, her thinking that she's the only Alderaanian out there, and her mission to find other ones was an okay story, but it just felt like there was things in there that didn't just.
I don't think the pacing was right. It was just kind of strange, but and they didn't help them that didn't have a consistent release of the comics either. So I think Lando already has a better start, and I think it'll be pretty cool.
Right.
Pretty cute.
Cool. Okay, what else? Is there anything else?
Saw some cool gameplay footage of Battlefront.
Oh yeah.
I think it was some of the PC beta testing. So awesome. Oh, feels so much different than the original games, and I'm so excited. I've already struck a deal with Sarah. I think that I'll buy us, and I emphasize I'll buy us, me and her, an Xbox One, and I'll get her. She'll get her a stuff little something too out of it. So like a cool desk that she wants. So hopefully I'll get an Xbox One and the game by the time it comes out.
Yeah, I'm definitely doing that. Okay, so we'll finish up with a little segment that we've been starting to do the last couple episodes, since episode, I think, 100. We are looking in the Ultimate Star Wars Encyclopedia and kind of giving you some canon facts on certain creatures, characters, locations, technology, whatnot. So Case's going to hit you up with something from a well-known system.
Yeah. So, today we are going to talk quickly about Tatooine, or as I've also heard it pronounced, Tatooine. In the films. Tatooine. Come on, people. So, Tatooine appears, it says here, everything except for Episode 5. But, and Rebels so far.
Yeah. Region,
Outer Rim Territories, Sector Arcanus, System Tattoo, Primary Terrain, Deserts, Mesas, buttes and canyons. So a few little facts here that I find pretty decently interesting. It says here that there's some legends, and I'm really going to go through here some highlights, so bear with me if this is kind of disconnected. But as you know, it's very deserted planet. It's got 2 suns. Apparently it's actually got a very small diameter, small circumference, or whatever you might say. And some people, when they're flying past it, actually mistake it says here, for a third smaller sun of the system. But they don't even know it's a planet because it's so bright that the sun light reflects off it, making it a really bright planet. So some people think it actually is a smaller sun. Another thing that's, and I'm just an idiot to make this connection, but I'm sure you all did because you're smarter than me. The area of the Dune Sea actually used to be a sea. Actually used to be an ocean there.
Yes.
Which I thought was actually a nice little thing. You may not know that. I don't know. May not.
Or was it called the Dune Sea when it was water?
Must not have been.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to call it the Dune Sea because I know it's going to become a dune eventually.
Exactly.
But a couple things about some of the creatures. We all know that there's crate dragons. Many, many other things. But I didn't know there were 2 types of crate dragons. Did we profile crate dragons in our old... We did Sarlacc. And we did Tatooine.
Yeah.
But I don't know if we did crate dragons. I don't think we
did crate dragon.
But there are 2 types of crate dragons indigenous to Tatooine. 1, the relatively common canyon crate, which dwells in rock caves and canyons, and the much larger crate dragon. This is actually the skeleton that C-3PO sees in Episode 4. So the much larger crate dragon, which submerges itself in the shifting sands and uses its powerful limbs to swim through the dunes.
Sweet.
That's worst case scenario for me. I'm not going to Tatooine. I don't want a dragon to swim in the dunes and pop up to kill me. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Or you end up like that guy.
Yes. Oh my gosh. So, a few little things. Jawas, the sand crawlers that they use. The history behind the sand crawlers is that they were used to mine precious minerals and ores back in the day on Tatooine. Jawas kind of took it over because these mineral and ore caverns or deposits, whatever, these mines were shut down apparently due to some reasons. That says here the Tatooine metal proved to have unwanted metallurgic properties, so mines were shut down. Miners abandoned most of the equipment, including sand crawlers. So Jawas used these sand crawlers, and it just became part of their culture, that kind of thing. Pretty cool. Last thing, moisture farms, moisture evaporators. So apparently, as you can assume, that they are a very huge part of the economy of Tatooine. Mm-hmm. It says here that a single evaporator may cost up to 500 credits. Doesn't seem that much, but I don't know what the currency and inflation is of a credit. But some colonists invest in multiple units to establish their own moisture farms. And they make hydroponic gardens to actually grow some gardens, which is kind of interesting. I feel like they're able to grow something on a huge desert planet, or I guess a small desert planet. And yeah, that's pretty much it. a few highlights there from Tatooine.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tatooine being really almost the center of the universe and the Star Wars universe in a way. A lot of
stuff
has happened. Is
it says here it's home to 2 generations of Skywalkers.
Yeah, that are very significant in the storyline of Star Wars. Yeah, so very cool, very cool. Okay, so I think that's everything so far this week. Like Casey said, we will probably do a special edition episode this weekend if there's a lot that gets revealed at Comic-Con. Now, again, they kind of shut down, new footage. So they got to do something, though.
Yeah.
They've got the cast there, right? Episode 7 cast.
Some cast and group.
So they got to do something. Did you find out if it's exactly on Friday or Saturday?
Oh, we'll look. But I'm pretty sure it is, but I'll double check.
I think it's Friday, but as he does that, I'll remind you at InsideTheForce.com you can listen to all the episodes from our podcast, or you can subscribe to us on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, or TuneIn Radio. Send us some feedback on Twitter at Inside the Force. Of course, Facebook, Inside the Force. Email info@InsideTheForce.com. Casey over there on Twitter is Kryptonian1138. I am D. Cottingham21. Check us out on the site. 21network.com is what we're a part of. Follow that Twitter at 21network for the latest news and updates from this podcast as well as all of our great shows.
Yep.
What do you find?
It is Friday, July 10th from 5:30 to 6:30.
There you go.
But will be Eastern time? Or Central time, I mean?
No, it's probably Pacific time.
So
wait, does it say?
It doesn't say. He didn't say.
I'm guessing that's Pacific time. West Coast time.
Then dang, we'll be getting that late.
Yes.
8:30 to
8 or so.
9:30.
Correct. That's how it always is.
Yep.
So again, but based on the news, we'll maybe put together a quick podcast over the weekend and send it out to you guys. So
and there'll be some live blogs on StarWars.com.
Nice.
So there you go.
What about this live stream stuff that they
Doesn't
did?
say.
Celebration. Okay, so appreciate everybody checking us out and listening and giving us a follow. We'll be back, of course, either the weekend or next week for all new news from Star Wars. So, anyway, for Casey Cooley.
Well, if there's a bright center to the universe, you're on the planet that it's farthest from. I might have said that before.
Luke Skywalker.
Yes.
I don't know if you have or not.
Maybe. Who can say?
But who knows?
Who cares?
Who cares?
It's a good line.
Appreciate everybody checking us out Inside the Force. We will be back here either this weekend or next week. Hope everyone that's going to Comic-Con has a great time. Hope everybody's not. Hope you're having a great time anyway. Wherever you're at.
Yeah.
All right. He's Case.
Goodbye, everybody.
I'm Dave. And as always, may the Force be with you.
This has been a production of the 21 Network. For more great podcasts, visit 21network.com. To view additional content, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/21network. Follow us on Twitter at 21network for the latest news and updates. The 21 Network, for the fan and all of us.